What's up, y'all? Shout out the new merch, man. It's here, it's here, it's here. Go ahead and go to thatman.store. That's thatman.store. And you can get the hand down, man down merchandise right now. Go ahead and click that, man. We appreciate y'all.
That's cool.
Welcome to another edition of the Mark Jackson Show. I'm Mark Jackson. We're on the Come and Talk to Me Network. Shout out my guys Cam and Mace. I'm with the dynamic one, my guy Bluu, my co-host. We have a very special guest, another legend on board. First, let's pay some bills, Bluu.
I got you, Pops. I got you. What's up, y'all? Shouts out to y'all, man. We appreciate the support. And shouts out to our sponsor, Underdog. Go ahead and click the link in the description and use the promo code MARK. They're matching the first time deposit up to $1,000, and they'll give you a specialty pick. Also, when you get a chance, check out my page. I got a few new vlogs, some new music on the way. You can see me get my hair rebraided and whatnot. Pops, back to you, man.
We have a legend. Not many guys have a move named after them in the history of the game. Getting his red R back on today, smoking a cigar as he joins us. 14th pick in the 1989 NBA draft by the Golden State Warriors. 13-year NBA career. His son, Tim Jr., is currently in his 12th year of the NBA career. Legendary run with the Golden State Warriors with the Run TMC, my guys Mitch Richmond and Chris Mullin. 5-time NBA All-Star, 5-time All-NBA. Killer crossover, the UTEP two-step, a gold medalist representing Team USA in the Sydney, Australia Olympics, 2022 inducted in the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. The legend, one and only Tim Hardaway Sr. What's up, bro?
What's
Thanks for
happening?
joining us, man.
Legend.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me. I see y'all all over the place, all over the country. Y'all doing well. I appreciate that. And thank you for having me on. I appreciate that too.
Well, absolutely. First things first, I know young fella had a spill and was in concussion protocol. How's he doing?
He's doing well. He's doing well. You know, he got messed up. I was right there watching it, and it was tough to watch, as you watch as a dad and you watch your son or your kids play, and you see them get hit real hard, and then they hit their head on the floor real hard, and then they lay down there. It's very concerning. It gets real right there. It gets real. I'm like, pop up. Then I'm like, no, you know what? Stay down, collect your thoughts, get your stuff together. But you know what? The doctors with the Pistons and the staff there, they took real good care of him. And, he's back playing. He played the other day. And so he's 100% healthy, which is good. Thanks for asking.
Now, how was your family watching games? My dad was extremely quiet. My mom was the loudest one in the building. How was your family?
The same way. So my wife be upstairs, I be downstairs, and I can hear her just going off. Just hear her going. I'm like, whew, I'm glad I'm down here. And then at the games, I'm like, should I move or should I just stay here? Everybody know we together, but I don't. It's difficult. It's difficult, but that's a mom. A mom is always want their kid to do well. If they miss a shot, if a call doesn't go their way, all that type of stuff. The moms I see all the time are the most, rugged ones at the game or at home.
Yeah, Blue's mom, he tweak an ankle on the court. She's ready to run by the foul line and make sure you go. I'm like, no, we don't do that. We don't do that.
I know exactly what you're talking about. She did that too in AAU basketball. She said she's about to run out there. I'm like, no, you can't run out there. Then she said, why don't you go out there? I said, no, I cannot go out there. I said, if we go out there, we will be escorted out of here, and unless we know that it's something real serious, like a broke ankle, he need a wheelchair, we got to call the paramedics or something like that. We just got to chill and just wish the best for him. So I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I used to mess my pops up at home sometimes when I was at Louisville. I'll call my moms. I'll be like, Coach Pitino, he just screamed at me today. He said this, that. An hour later, my pops called me like, yo, why you tell your moms all that stuff? What's going on?
Oh, good thing you didn't grow up the way we grew up. because we got cussed out every game, every time, right, Mark?
That's
So
right.
that's nothing. That's just a stand. I tell these kids today, it's corruptive, it's corrective criticism. You go out there, constructive criticism. You go out there and you gotta listen to the message. Don't listen to how they talking to you, because guess what? You talking to someone the same way on your team, and they looking at you the same way you looking at Rick Pitino, and they saying the same thing. Damn, he just cussed me out. Instead of listening to the message that you said and what they need to do on the court, that's what you need to listen to. Stop looking at people's face and stop looking at, because when the game is going on, it's intense. Everybody's intense. Everybody's yelling. And I tell the kids, yo, y'all need to stop and calm down and listen to the message, because the message will carry you to another level. If you listen to if you look at what he's saying to you, then you all upset and you discombobulated and you can't go out there and do your job for your team.
I do think I agree with you 1,000%, but I do also believe that old school coaches could have done a better job communicating.
Mark, no question they could have. No question they could have. But we was in that environment. Coming up with your dad, you know how he grew up, and then your parents talking to you any type of way. That groomed you for life after when you leave the house every day. They wanted you to be prepared. For when you left this house, you could be prepared for anything that's out this door.
One thing that's different, which you reminded me of, today's generation of players or people in general, they'll lay down on you. They'll quit on you. We were in a situation where we couldn't stand the coach. He cussed us out, but we loved the game. We still competed. We still got in uniform and did our job.
Still got in uniform and did our job. You're absolutely right. They go lay down. Oh, you know what? I can't play today. My ankle hurts. Or you know what? Or you know what? I bruised my thumb at shoot around today, and it's not feeling good. So I'm just gonna take the day off. Man, please, come on, man.
So let me ask the easy layup question. What's your thoughts on load management?
It's absolutely terrible. Load management is absolutely terrible. I be talking to folks today, and I said kids don't drink enough milk. They don't walk, 2 or 3 miles to school. They don't ride a bike. Everything is that they in a car. Somebody's taking them here, somebody's taking them there. We used to walk 2 or 3 blocks to the court and play, or 5, 6 blocks to the court and play. We used to, walk a mile here, ride a bike 2 or 3 miles to go play here or there. Their bones are not really developing the way they need to develop by staying strong and walking and doing this and doing that to get stronger and drinking milk. They just out there playing like they gonna play, like they ready to play. And then they don't want to do calisthenics. They don't want to do push-ups. They don't want to do sit-ups. They don't want to do all type of other stuff. So that's what's wrong with young kids today.
And we also, as coaches, our leaders, our trainers, our staff, you put a battery in their back and inspire them to take days off
Yeah, yeah,
in
you do.
today's world.
You do. Yep, you do. So I mean that's what's wrong with them today. You like, okay, it's all right. You can take the day off, or it's all right. I know you're tired. No, you gotta work through that. I need you today, and I need you at your best today. I need you to come out here and play. At your best, and let's hoop it. Let's play. A lot of these coaches don't do that with these kids, man. You got to talk to these kids. You got to communicate with these kids. You got to make these kids understand how they gonna get better, what they need to do to get better.
Growing up in Chicago, just like me growing up in New York City, I can remember winning Rookie of the Year. The next day at 3 p.m., I was back at the park playing ball on concrete. How foolish and silly was that? But I look forward to it. I embraced it.
I'm gonna tell you this: you love the game. You love the game. You went out there and you saw somebody out there playing, and you was like, you know what? I want to hoop right now. Even though I got that Rookie of the Year, I still want to hoop, and it's right outside. It's not. an hour away. It's not 30 minutes away. It's right outside. Let me go out here and get some work in. Even though it might have been silly back then, but you did you go out there and have some fun, enjoy yourself, and play with the fellas. That's what it's about, playing with the fellas.
Had a blast. Had an absolute
Yes.
blast.
I know you did. I know you was out there working them too. This is what Rookie of the Year does.
And you know the crazy thing is, just like Chicago, there were dudes on the court swearing they was better than me.
Oh, all the time. All the time. Oh, I'm picking you up full court. We going there? We going there? Okay. Then you really have to change your mind. I just wanted to come out and work. Okay, this is what Rookie of the Year gets you right here. You know, you had to show them. You had to show them. You know, and that's what made it fun. When you go out there and show them that, they was like, then you walk away. They like, damn, yeah, yeah, okay, that's that NBA, yeah.
Now, fill in the story. I don't remember the specific story, but I remember you talking about playing with a bunch of NBA veterans or legendary guys, and you was a young kid out of Chicago, and basically you got checked for taking shots, shooting early, and then all of a sudden they realized this kid is here and he's special.
Oh, you know, well, when you at the park, you always got to show your stuff. You always want to show your stuff. You always got to show that you know you belong. And you know, you got older figures, you know, NBA guys, college guys. Even when you're in high school, you know, they like, you know, look, young fella, I'm here too. You know, it ain't all your show. You know, Eddie Johnson. I played when I came because you couldn't play in the pro am high school in Chicago. So I had to graduate from high school. So that summer, I couldn't wait to June, July 5th, first game we playing. And I knew Eddie Jones. I'm watching him, you know, he putting in work all while I'm in high school and all this. I'm watching him come back doing the with the Phoenix Suns. He come back and play, and I'm on his team. And this guy named Derek Brittman, we call him Alibaba because he was a thief. He'd steal everything that you dribbled. So I got the ball. I knew he was right there. I got it right there. I knew he was right there. So I'm dribbling the ball, and I didn't make it to the free throw line. And he laying it up, and the crowd's like, "Ooh, ooh!" And I'm like, "Oh." So I got the ball back again. He was right there again. So I took him the length of the court, laid him up, and won. And I was like, "Yeah, oh yeah, this gonna be a hell of a game." And then during the course of the game, I knew Eddie, but Eddie was like, "Yo, you know, I want to introduce myself. My name is Eddie Jones. I mean
Eddie Johnson.
Eddie Johnson. My name is Eddie Johnson. You know, and I do play for the Phoenix Suns." I was like, "Yeah, I know, but I just got caught up in this. I just got caught up in this, and I forgot that I was supposed to pass to the pro and everything. So I mean, but you know what? That's what older guys would do. They'll make a joke out of it, but they serious. Like, I'm on this court too, and I'm here. They're here to see me, not you, too. But I would like the ball also. So and when guys come to you like that, you can understand. All right, I got to get this man the ball because they did come here to see him because he is the pro and he's been here before I was here. So yeah, man, there's a bunch of stories like that, man. That me, Nick, Kendall Gill, all of us growing up, Ben Wilson, all of us growing up, we playing, with some pros, and the pros had to come check us and be like, yo, we here, buddy. So yeah.
Yeah, great story. Shout out my guy Eddie Johnson, who was a former teammate of mine, one of the all-time great shooters in the history of the game, 20 plus thousand points, and as a case should be in the Hall of Fame in my opinion. But Chicago, legendary players, you can go down the list. Tremendous all-time greats. Who is the GOAT of Chicago basketball?
They say Derrick Rose now. They say Dwayne, even though Dwayne Wade is not from Chicago, he's from the outskirts of Chicago. But I think you have to pick Isaiah Thomas because how, everybody was following him. It wasn't no AAU, but he was, he was being followed like, he was God in Chicago. Even though Mark Aguirre was, doing all this stuff, but Isaiah Thomas was the man. He was the GOAT. He was the guy that everybody looked up to and wanted to see play. And he was a monster out there on the court, man. He was a monster. And when I went to go see him, my grammar school coach took me out of grammar school and went down to the amphitheater in Chicago. He's playing a playoff game. And he said, yeah, I want you to look at number 11 for St. Joe's. I was like, okay, cool. And I'm like, okay. He real nice, he real nice. He was like, yeah. He said, that's how you play. I was like, get the out of here. I said, oh, excuse my language. He was like, seriously. He said, that's how you control the game right now in grammar school. And that's when I started following Isaiah. From that point on, I've been following him his whole career and watched him play at Indiana, almost every game. Couldn't watch, while he was in Detroit, but followed him while he was with the Pistons. So that was like my idol, my basketball idol that I watch, that I groomed my game after.
I'm in agreement. He is the GOAT from Chicago. With all due respect to the legends that have come before and after him, in my opinion, he's number one.
No question. You got Mark, you got Terry Cummings, you got Mo Cheeks, Ricky Green.
You're forgetting somebody.
Cassie Russell.
You're forgetting somebody.
Oh, myself, of course. Come on now. Myself, of course. But it was guys that we all saw and looked up to and watched. Even Eddie Jones come, when he, I'm going to tell you this, before it was Mark Aguirre, it was Eddie Jones. And they went to the same high school, and Mark couldn't get on the court with Eddie because Eddie was doing his thing and running up and down the court and making shots and making things happen. So, it was a lot of great ball players coming out of Chicago. And, I don't think they get enough recognition like Teddy Cummings, Eddie Jones.
You keep on bringing your Miami experience. You keep on calling Eddie Johnson Eddie Jones.
Eddie Johnson. I'm sorry, Eddie Johnson. My bad, Eddie Johnson. I always go on radio with him, too. He does a good job with the Phoenix Suns out there on TV. Good. I like to talk. Yeah.
So spinning off, I want to ask, us all being fathers, I know me, I want to always pour into my son and hope that I could teach him some of the things that I know. You now looking and seeing how much your knowledge has poured into your son and how great of a player he's become. How meaningful is that to you?
It goes back to he was 6 months old, and it was September, and I rolled him up in where we started in Golden State. We was at St. Mary's College, and I rolled him up, and he was crying. He was upset. I woke him up, and then I propped him up. He saw the ball bouncing. He saw us playing ball. He just shut up and started watching us then. It started then. It started at 6 months old, just watching the game. When we stopped playing, it was over with. He was like, he started crying again, like, why y'all stop? What's going on? I'm like, yo, it's time to go. Don't worry about it. It's going to be another day tomorrow or whatever. I'm talking to him like he's 3, 4, 5 years old. But, it started then. Then he started coming with me, shooting around with me, come to workouts in Chicago, playing with the other kids. And it just started being natural to him. And he started just picking up the game. He started picking up the game. You just saw him picking up the game. You saw him liking the game. You saw him loving the game and having fun just out there playing. And so I just stayed with it. If you want to do this, we'll do this. I put you in camps. I teach you how to dribble and do some other stuff. Then he started growing. And then I had to change his jump shot because he used to shoot from right here. I said, that's going to get shot. I'm blocked. So I said, hey, we got to change your jump shot. So we started. I said, you got to give me 100 push-ups a day, 100 sit-ups a day. So you get stronger as you growing. And we're gonna start shooting it up here. We're gonna start doing your form up here. And he just started doing that, and he just started listening to me from there. But I'm gonna tell you this: you get your child to do a lot of stuff, and to program to what he needs to do to get better. But as he playing the game, I advise parents, don't yell at him, don't shout at him. Let him go ahead and play. Let him go ahead and figure it out, because if that's how you get them to not love the game. That's how you get them to don't want you to come around and be around them as they play. You know what I'm saying? So you got to really be quiet. And I had to be quiet, and I had to shut up, and I had to check myself, and so he could go out there and learn and have fun and enjoy himself playing the game. But I told him, watch out for, keep your eye open. If you see a guy that's uncoordinated, watch out for yourself, because you get hurt that way. People fall down, you get hurt your knee, you get hit upside the head. I just told him the game or that way, but the fundamentals of the game got to come from you, because he's listening to you, and then it goes to that next step to where he want to get to. That's all it is. But if he's listening to you at the fundamentals and loving the game, then you are right. But I advise parents, just be quiet and just enjoy it, because he gonna catch on. If it's for him, he's gonna catch on. If it's not for him, then he wants to do something else.
How tough was that? Because quiet and Tim Hardaway Sr. doesn't go together.
No, it does not. It really doesn't, man. It was tough. It was tough, man. I was, man. I remember the first day. I shut up, and I was just looking, and I wanted to say so much. I said, no, I'm not gonna say nothing. And the good thing, it was a buddy right next to me, just checking out the game. He just so happened to be there, and we were just talking, and I was just looking at him, and I wanted to blurt out something, but I didn't. I kept talking to my man, and I was like, okay. And then when I'm looking at him, I really saw that he was out there doing what I asked him to do, and doing what he was supposed to do out there on the court. So I really kept my mouth closed, and then after the game, I felt real confident about where he was at and how he was going to get better and be better.
Now, I know the pressure that comes with naming your son the same exact name as you. My birth name is Mark Jackson Jr. Your son's name is Tim Hardaway Jr. Was there a moment when you saw him, I guess, embrace having a Hall of Fame father?
He always embraced it, because he was always with me. It was like only time I was away from him is when I'm on the road. That was it. But when I'm at home, we playing basketball, we passing the ball around, we doing stuff, hanging out, we going to eat, him and my daughters, we going to eat, we going to have fun and stuff like that. I'm a family man, so I like to be around my kids. I pick them up from school. Hey, how y'all doing? What's up? This and that. What we gonna do? First, we gotta go home and do homework, or go home and do what the teacher asks you to do, and then we go from there. But it wasn't like that. He was always around it. He was always he always just loved the game. So we never clashed or anything like that. It was just good vibes all the time.
How was it experiencing the high of playoff basketball, watching him getting all the way to the NBA Finals, and then the low of feeling as a dad he's not being utilized right?
That's tough. That's tough when he's supposed to be out there playing. He's their third best scorer, and they need to utilize him, and they need to run some plays for him to make it easier for them. For those two guys. And it was tough, but you know what? I said what I had to say, and we moved on. And it's a good situation for them. It's a good situation for us, and we're very happy with it. But you know what? I'm living now through my son. he been to two places that I'd never been. He been to the NCAA finals and lost that I wish I could have been in, and he went to the NBA finals, and I'd never been. So I'm just happy for him because he's been to two places I haven't been, I haven't experienced. So he's experienced. So I'm very happy for him.
Let me ask you about today's game. We had a former guest on that talked about Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers and how he would handle that situation. This team is 2-11. It's not just a Joel Embiid problem. It's a Philadelphia 76ers problem. I believe the leadership in the locker room, leadership on the front of that bench, they've all fallen short. Your feelings on what's going on in Philly?
I think what's going on is like you said. First of all, it's got to come from the coach. Coach got to come in and set a presence for his team. A coach got to come in and set priorities for his team. A coach got to come in and have a no nonsense for his team, and his team will follow him from day one in practice. Day one, this is what we gonna do. X, Y. Hey, stop around. Let's do this. See, this is how we lose it. Y'all mind is not into the game. Let's pay attention to details. All right. Let's understand what we need. Let's get our work. Let's understand what we need to do. Let's get our work in. And then after this, y'all go around. But right now it's time to work. This is what our owner pays you to do. Is to come in, get this work in, and be ready to play. And that's what my job is to do. So let's stop around. It starts day one there. It didn't. Some guys, walking around, I can't practice in house shoes, shooting free throws. You know how it is, shooting free throws, laughing and having coffee and stuff like that. That's what's wrong with them now. And I think Maxie said the right thing. Yo, MB, you taking it for granted. Basically, he's taking it for granted. He's taking his team for granted. He thinking that he could just do whatever he want to do. And another thing, come to places late. Always come to place late. Never on time. That's problems to me. I'm here on time, and you with my time now. I gotta wait for you. I might have something to do. So that's where it starts. It starts there, and then they have to have a leader. I don't think Embiid is a leader. I don't. And Paul George, he just got there. He don't know what's going on. He trying to figure it out. So if Maxie, if I was Maxie, they looking at you like, you got to speak up. You was there in the playoffs every game. You played every game. You played when Embiid was out, half the season and stuff like that with the knee injury. So you got to be the voice of the team. You got to be the leader, and you got to speak up. And that's what he did. He spoke up. They boys, but he spoke up and said, "Hey man, we got to be better." And he's doing it. They doing it at a right time, where it's not too late. You can turn this around. If you look at the Eastern Conference, it's still you still can turn this around. The standings is not crazy. There's only two teams really out there that's way out there, and that's Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers. But you can turn it around. It's not too late. So they did the right thing. And if I was the coach, I would have handled it day one. Yo, man, we got something. We got Paul George, we got Embiid, got Max, and we got a great bench. We got to come out here right now, and this is what we need to do. We got to start right now if we want to get to that next level, get to that championship level, and that's what Nick Nurse should have done. But Max even told him, "Yo, man, we need more toughness from you. We need for you to get on our. We need for you to cuss us out. We need for you in practice to really practice. Don't go through all right, that's cool, it's all right. Make mistakes, throw the ball here, throw the ball there, because that's gonna revert into games. You don't want to practice and practice bring out the same way in the games. So it started with Nick Nurse, and Nick Nurse needs to be held accountable also.
But let me ask you a question, piggybacking that. It's awfully hard if you don't do it from day one. You can't turn Don Nelson into Pat Riley.
Right. Exactly. If you don't do it from day one, then it's kind of hard to, exactly. What you gonna do now? You gonna start putting restrictions on them now, okay, we can't go out here, we can't do this now. You got to be in bed at this time and fine him for this and fine. They not used to that. They've been going a month and a half, not even getting reprehended. Now you're gonna start, slapping them on the wrist. That's like start teaching a kid now. That's gonna take you a month or 2 months to teach a kid what you really want the kid to do.
Well, you touched on two teams that seemingly are doing things the right way in the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Last night, the Cavaliers lost their 0 on their undefeated season. But I want to know your thoughts. Are they the real deal? Are they a championship contender?
Cleveland Cavaliers. If
Yeah.
Darius Garland didn't shoot 2 for or 3 for 21, they probably would have had a chance to win that game. They probably would have won that game. Yeah. I mean I know he's hurting. I know he's like, damn, if I had just made 3 shots, we could have won. But he didn't. But it was a good game. I think they fell behind the 8 ball early. 19 to 7, 19 to 5. They fell behind early, and then they had to catch up. They never did get over that hump. They was right there, but they never got over that hump. But I think they right there. They missing Strus. Careless LeVert didn't play. So they missing 2 of their main guys. So but they right there. They right there. And the big fellas, I like them. Mobley and Allen, love them. The guards are the guards. They're gonna give you what they're gonna give you. It was just a bad night for Garland. But other than that, I think they get a run to the championship.
One thing I love in my career and your career is I didn't have to face you in the playoffs. I mean, it meant so much that I didn't have to see you in a 7-game series. I don't know if you remember, we played against each other in Madison Square Garden in the early 90s. And the first half, you're with the Warriors. The first half, you're just making plays. You're not trying to score. And I'm like, I'm buddying you up. I'm talking nice to you, The second half, you came out and put on a clinic offensively. I'm like, yo, what's the difference? He's like, Nelly chewed me out for not shooting. I'm like, Nelly should have mind his business.
Nelly, I walked up in there. Nelly's like, what the What the I'm like, what are you talking about? He said, what, you gonna do this to me? I'm like, what are you talking about? You just not gonna shoot the ball? You just gonna set this up, do this? You're not playing. Tim, you're not playing. You're not helping the team. I might as well sit your ass down. And I mean, like, okay. Then the second half, I just came out and just, was just playing, But it could have been. I'm in Madison Square Garden. I don't know, Mark, if you ever been like that. Madison Square Garden, use home and all this. I'm talking about, like, when I first walked in the Forum and played against the Lakers, I was like, damn, I'm playing against Magic now. In the Great Western Forum. This some cool. Nelly had to go off on me again. What are you doing, man? I'm like, dude, I need a minute. I'm in the Great Western Forum. That's how it was, man. When you playing like that. When I went to Chicago, I was like, oh, let's go, let's hoop. I'm from Chicago. But Madison Square Garden, you watch it on TV, and then you put your feet on that wood, and then you see all these people coming in, and you hear all that noise. It's a different feeling, man. It's a different feeling.
Imagine if you wasn't nervous because you played against Magic Johnson and the Los Angeles Lakers in your second season in the NBA playoffs, and you averaged 27 points, 13 assists, and 3 steals per game against Magic Johnson.
Yeah. I wasn't nervous then. all the nervous went out the way the first year. This is my second year, so we was ready to hoop then. We was ready to hoop, but yeah, man. I tell you this. If anybody had a chance to really play for Don Nelson, you truly had fun playing the game of basketball. The way the Warriors are playing today, with the credit of you, Mark, because I think you showed the blueprint of how to use two guys that could really shoot the ball, that could really be effective in the NBA level. One guy that never have to dribble, and Clay. Never have to dribble. You get 50, 60 points, 63, 64 points. Never have to dribble. Took 16 dribbles that game. And then you got one guy that you know, uh if I think if it wasn't for you and talking to him, because he was down and out when he was hurt, when his ankles was hurting, and he people was doubting him. I truly believe, Mark, you talked to him and made him understand that, hey man, it's gonna be all right. You just got to get yourself together. You're gonna have a long career, but you got to get yourself healthy and come back, because you're a bad boy. And to your credit, I think both of those guys, you because when you first get in the league, if you it's like going to school. Who are the teachers that's behind you? Who are the teachers that that's gonna help you in this subject? Who you can go to and talk to, and they're going to mentor you. That's those two guys. They look at that as a mentorship when they first came to the league, and that helped them grow as players today. So that's kudos to you. But the way Golden State Warriors play, that's the way we used to play. The way Boston Celtics used to play, that's the way we used to play. We had Tom Toker one time, 6'7". That was our tallest guy. He's playing center. And we just passed the ball around, and the rules was different. The big man had to stay up. He couldn't come down below the free throw line. He had to stay up. It was like 2.3 and get back. 2.3 and get back. But now you can go down there and touch somebody and stay in the lane and do this. Man, the way the game is played today, that's the way Don Nelson did the game back when we was playing. We had so much fun playing that way. And I know a lot of people wanted to come and play with us too. I know a lot of people wanted to come play with us.
I asked Chris Mullin about you, and to give me something about Tim Hardaway Sr. He said, one of the toughest, most confident guys ever. Very similar to you, meaning me. Played against some of the greatest point guards of all time, and on most nights outplayed them. Magic, Stockton, Peyton, KJ, Kidd. He said also loved to hoop. An elite, all-time great trash talker to opponents, coaches, refs, and teammates. Equal time, equal opportunity. Everybody got some. that describes you to a T.
Yeah, that's described me to a T. I went. You remember the time you was with the Clippers, right? I came in the Clippers locker room. I said, "Hey, man, I need some tickets. I need a couple of tickets and this and that." It was him. It was Ron Harper, and they was like, they gave me a couple of tickets, whatever. I said, "Don't think that I'm still not gonna bust y'all." I
Think about this. He
tickets.
comes in our locker room and says,
Yeah, I'm in y'all locker. I appreciate the tickets. Thank y'all very much. When y'all come to Golden State, y'all need tickets. I got y'all. But don't get this wrong. I'm still gonna bust y'all. And I said thank you, and I walked out.
Tell me about the Run TMC days with you, Chris Mullin, and Mitch Richmond.
Oh man, it clicked right from the get-go, man. It clicked right from the get-go. We was just because we love to play basketball. We love to compete. We love to go out there and get better and play better. After practice, we played 3-on-3 full court. You had Mario Ellie on the team. He was a beast. And Rod Higgins, Sharunas Marcellonis. It was Run TMC against those three. And we just used to play up back and forth for about an hour, hour and a half after practice, man. And we just loved the game. And we picked up stuff from each other. We picked up, a lot of people think that the Euro step is Ginobili. That was Sharunas Marcellonis back in 89, 90. He was doing it back then. And we was calling travel back then. We looking at the ref. Oh, that's a travel. I know he gonna call it travel. He didn't call it travel. What? I mean, when Sharunas came in the league, we never. What in the hell is this? You know, we thought it was a travel, but it was never a travel. Like they don't call it now. They didn't call it then. So then you know Rod Higgins, a jump shooter, consummate pro. Tom Tober, consummate pro. You know Mario Elliott, a killer. He gonna go out there. You know he was Mario Elliott 6'5", 6'6" at best. He's sticking 6'9" guys. He's sticking Terry Cummings because you know Mario Elliott was strong and he could stick them. And so, you know, it was just, man, we had so much fun, man. And run TMC, we just learned from each other. We talked to each other. We practiced stuff with each other out there on the court. We gave eye signals. You know, you give a head signal. You know, back then you give an eye signal or a head signal, you throw it right by their ear and lay up. So, man, we just clicked right away. And we all, you know, they took my confidence. When I started talking smack, they took it to another level. They said, oh, you know, oh, here you go, talking again. All right, well, we got to take our shit to another level because we got to back him up. We see Chris Mullin doing something, Mitch Richmond doing something. Everybody got to bag them up. I remember the time when Mitch, he thought he was going to make the All-Star team, and it was him or Clyde Drexler, and they picked Clyde Drexler, and we so happened was playing Portland that night. And you could just see it in Mitch's eyes. Mitch was like, man, he didn't have to say nothing. We was just feeding him the ball. It seemed like he went to another level. And I was like, wow. Yeah, he's mad. He's upset. he gave it to him. He gave it to the whole team. He was dunking on them, shooting threes and doing this. He gave not only Clyde Drexler, the whole team he gave it to. So I mean, you know, and we bagged him on that. You know, that's what a team was about. But man, Chris Mullin, a workaholic. I'm gonna tell you one guy you're not gonna outwork. That's Chris Mullin. You can say what you want to say. You go out there. Back then, we running for 30 minutes. We lifting, then going back to running. Then we might do some elliptical. Then we might get on the bike. I like, you know what, Chris? It's been about 3 hours. I can't do this. I really, truly thought, and I went to sleep that night, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna work out with Chris. After about that third hour, I was like, you know what? No, I can't do it no more. He just kept going. I said, all right. I said, I got to go. He just kept going. I was like, what, dude? What is wrong with you? You going 4 hours? He's like, man, I just got to keep going. I just, you know, he got to get it right.
And you're preaching to the choir because I experienced him in college where I was a gym rat, but he was a gym technician. Guys like us from New York and Chicago, we go into the gym, we throwing it through the legs, behind the back, taking garbage shots. He's in there jab stepping, coming off down screens, elevating, taking game shots. It's a different level, and it made me a better player.
Me too. Same way here. I saw his work ethic. I was like, Chris Mullin used to work out an hour before practice. He used to be out on the court with a 12 to 15 pound vest on, running up and down the court, getting up shots an hour before practice. Go in there and take a shower, then come back out and practice with us again. Then go in there, take another shower, get on the Stairmaster for about a half an hour, then lift weights, ice down, and then get in the whirlpool and then leave. I'm like, and then you watch him play, you like, I see why he does that. I mean, he outruns you but he's super slow. Super slow. And I tell folks this. We are used to, you know, that's why Joker is so effective. We used to playing against fast twitch people. Everybody moving. We used to keeping up with them. But when you get with a slow person, it's hard to guard them because they doing everything slow. So when Chris Mullin's doing something, people blocking the shot before he even shoot the ball. So he's shooting the ball, they trying to block, he just laying it up. And I'm telling you, man, you just see that, and the Joker does it the same way. Luka does it the same way. They play within themselves where we fast twitch, and we keeping up with people that just fast twitch. Where you now you got to go with a guy that's slow. That's slow. You're not used to that.
The UTEP two-step. I need to know because I don't watch videos. I don't watch your footage. What is the secret, man? What is the secret? How did you get it to be so deadly?
You got to stay low. You got to stay low. You got to stay under control. You got to be not outside the box. I'm always in the box. I'm not taking you outside the box and trying to go around you. I'm trying to go shoulder to shoulder, right past you to the rim. That's the way we was taught as we was growing up. We was taught stop exerting a lot of energy. Stop exerting a lot of energy. I used to exert a lot of energy when I was in grammar school, my first 2 years in high school, and my coach was like, "Hey, you need to calm down. You need to uh, uh, calm down, and you need to be under control. You fast. Sometimes you out dribble the ball, so you got to be under control and understand how to dribble the ball. And then when you get down here, then you could do your move. Then you could do this. Then you could do that." So that's why I learned how to slow down and understand how to be under control. And I used to practice, man. You know, people when I was with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson on their show, and they was like, what about the crossover? And everybody, when I say I practice, people like I'm punching, getting on Allen Iverson. I said, first of all, I'm 58 years old. All right, I'm older than Allen Iverson. Okay, I've been playing this game before Allen Iverson. And that's what we was taught to do back then, was to practice on your game, work on your game to get better. This wasn't a jab at Allen Iverson. This wasn't nothing to do with Allen Iverson. And we talking about me and what made my crossover great and why people are still using it. Because I went out there and practiced. This does not have nothing to do with Allen Iverson. I love Allen Iverson. I respect Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson, bad motherfucker. Pound for pound, whatever he was, whatever they want to call him, bad boy. But I had to practice, and I love practicing because I love being under control, and I didn't like to make mistakes because that would cost my team. So I practice on my game. So when I went out there and I practiced on my dribbling, so when I went out there, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. Just like Mark. Nobody stole the ball from Mark. Nobody stole the ball from me because we practice and our repetition just bouncing the basketball, we can do it with our eyes closed. And we come down and shake you with our eyes closed because we practice on dribbling day in and day out. That's why my crossover was effective because I practiced on it and I was low with it and I was under control.
But did it come a point where the lights came on or the orchestra started playing where you realized this is the move? Like, how did you develop? How did it come about?
Mark, I can honestly tell you, man, I don't know. I'm just out there. I'm out there hooping, man. In the playgrounds, you out there just hooping and shit just flow. You come down, somebody might come, they just might come double team you, and might do a move on him, and then do a move, and you up two people, and you didn't even know that you did all that, because you out there just hooping and know that you under control, and you just trying to make a play for your team. I'm just trying to get, the way we grew up, basketball was physical. In the playgrounds, it was very physical. Steering you this way, they bumping you, get up, you can't cry, this and that, all this and all that. It was tough back then. So you had to have a couple of moves or 3 or 4 moves to get past people and be under control to make plays. Because guess what? 22 up. You up, you off the court for 7, 8 games. Am I right, Mark? Am I right? You can't That's why that move got to be right, and you got to get to the rim, or you got to make a play or whatever to win that game. So that's the way we had to play. So in NBA, it was like that's what we did. That was our nature. It didn't phase us. We knew what we need to do. We knew where we wanted to go. We knew how to get there, and we was confident in getting there. But I didn't know I was doing that, man. Until Magic was talking about us and critiquing our and going through the scouting report. And he was like, "Yeah, Tim Hardaway, he got the deadliest crossover. That killer crossover is killer. You got to watch out for that." I didn't. Man, I'm just coming down doing a move. I'm trying to get to the basket and make a play for my team. I tell kids today, I said, do y'all know how to bait defenses? They say bait. What you mean by bait? I said, y'all know how to bait defenses? They said, no. I said, that we used to go in there knowing we wasn't going to shoot. We knew we wasn't going to shoot. We just used to get in the lane so everybody converge on us. We just passed it out. We knew we wasn't going to shoot. That's baiting the defense. They're like, oh, okay, we never heard that. Now you learned a new word.
Well, let's fast forward. We appreciate your time, but let's fast forward to Miami, and you get a chance to play with an all-time great dominant big man in Alonzo Mourning. Touch on those years.
Man, it was great, man. First of all, legendary Pat Riley. I don't think y'all heard the news, but they gonna build a statue for him in L.A. for the Lakers, which is great. I'm happy for him. He deserves that. Pat Riley is a no-nonsense coach, and love playing for him. Love playing for him. Man, I don't know about other people, but I love playing for him because he was no nonsense. You come in this gym, let's hoop, let's get this work done, let's be attentive, let's pay attention to detail, let's be ready to go out here and play. I asked him, I said, Pat, I'm in the elevator, why do we practice for 2.5 hours, man? He said, the game is 2.5 hours. Nothing else to be said. I just said, okay. And I left it alone. But yeah, man, playing with Alonzo Mourning, it was absolutely great, man. I never played with a big man that could, first of all, block shots like he blocked shots. Oh my God. I mean, he timed the shot perfectly, kept it in bounds. We gone, we doing this. And, running offense through him and stuff like that. It was just great to have him. I mean, Vashawn, Dan, Zoe, PJ, Ike, and a lot of other guys that was on the team, Vashawn Leonard. We had a bond there, man. When we came there in that gym, it was us against everybody. And we felt it, and we went out there and played like that. And we took on that initiative of, it's just heat. It's not about that on your back, your name on your back. It's about heat. It's about winning for the Heat and the organization and your teammates and going out there and doing the correct way, doing it the correct way for your teammates. So when they talk about Heat culture, man, it started back in 96, 95, 96. And it was real. It was real. And, and it's a tribute to Keith Askins, because Keith Askins was one of those guys that came in every day. Every day, a consummate pro came in every day and worked and couldn't dribble a lick. Couldn't dribble a lick. I came down the court. I was in Milwaukee. I remember. You know how you feeling, Mark? Y'all hooping. You come down. You coming down, and I passed it to him on the left side. And as soon as I passed to him, because he was open, it was a fast break. As soon as I passed to him, I passed to him too early. And as soon as I passed it to him, I said, "Oh," because you got to know your personnel. He damn near broke his neck. Because he's a catch and shooter and a defensive guy. He's not a guy that's gonna put it on the floor. You can't play pick and roll with him. You can't give him one dribble and layup. I said, oh, and Pat looked at me and was like, I said, he was open, man. He was open. And it was in the thick of the things too. I mean, the fourth quarter, like 4 minutes left to go. I passed. He said, "My fault, Biggs." I said, "No, that was my fault. I saw you open, and I knew because I knew he had to take that one dribble and 1.5, and I said, oh, he about to kill himself." So I said, but no, Keith Axon, consummate pro, always there for the team, and that's why he's still with the organization right now to this day because he was they first pick, or they one of their first guys they picked in the draft when they in '88.
Now, you touched on Pat Riley. One thing I loved about him, playing for him in 91, 92 in New York, like going back to the Joel Embiid situation, he's sitting 12 guys before practice against the wall. And he's going to say it in front. It ain't Tim tell Zoe or Zoe tell Tim or Maxey tell Joel Embiid. He is setting the tone by speaking his mind and holding guys accountable 1 through 12.
Right then and there. Right then and there. This is what I expect. This is how I expect it. This is what you're going to give me. This is what we're going to do in practice. This is how we're going to do it in practice. This is every day. This is every day. This not like today, I'm going to do it and then 2 weeks from now. No, this is every day. He's going down the line every day on everybody. On everybody. So everybody's accountable and everybody understand what they need to do. Everybody getting singled out. Every day, everybody getting singled out. So yeah, that's what makes him the all-time great because you got to respect that. This is what we're going to, and then you say, and if you don't do it, I'm going to sit your ass down. I'm going to sit your ass down if you don't do it. If you don't believe me, don't do it. First of all, you probably won't get in the game because if you're not practicing hard, you're not going to get in the game.
Did you guys have to ride the bike if you didn't practice? So it encouraged you to, I'd rather practice than be on the bike the whole time.
Man, do not get hurt. So say your knee hurt or your hamstring hurt, you can't ride the bike. I'm gonna tell you this. Whoever made this machine, somebody need to kick them. Somebody need to them up. That machine, you go like this, that is some bullshit. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. I hate that machine.
That machine ain't no joke.
Man, but see, we talking about we got 2.5 hour practice. So it's like you doing that for like 2 hours. Am I right, Mark?
Yep, and you only get a break when the team gets a break.
What is the break? You get up. It's like, hey, how you like that? I see you in the playpen. I see you upset like a mom. Yeah, I'm upset. I'd rather ride if it's one thing I'd rather do. If I'm not practicing, I'd rather ride a bike or that machine there, man. Whoever invented that, he need to get his for that machine, man. I hate that machine. Hate it.
And that's shocking because we're talking about a guy that now at 58 years old gets up at 6 in the morning and does 60-40 sprints and works his tail off, conditioning wise.
But it's not that machine. You know what? And I see if you go to a place, if you go work out, they have that machine where people work out at, Lifestyle or whatever. Ain't nobody on that machine. You don't see nobody on that machine.
I only see one person. Our last guest, my guy Dave Snowden, who plays wheelchair basketball, who's paralyzed from the waist down.
Okay,
that's the only.
Right.
That's the way he
That
walks.
don't count.
Yeah.
He's forced into that.
Okay. Okay. All right, I understand now. He needs that machine. But that machine does not need to be on the basketball court with guys that's a man. That's a man. Every time I had to do that, yeah, Tim, you go over there. I looked at Pat like, oh man, I want to cuss him out. I want to walk out. Dude, that machine is up.
I didn't know during this interview we was going to spend 10 minutes on that machine and bring back old memories of two former Pat
Man, that
Riley point
shit, man,
guards.
yeah, that machine, yeah. Sit-ups and all that, that's cool. But that machine, yeah.
In case they didn't get the message, what should happen to the person that invented that machine?
He needs to get up. He need his whooped. For real. For real. I know he's gonna be calling me too.
Yeah, he gonna get this message.
Oh yeah. Wait, don't leave a message, because I'm gonna call you back and cuss you out. That's
Well, we appreciate it all the time. A couple of more questions. What would Tim Hardaway Sr., healthy and whole, average in today's game?
40. Easy. Easy. I get to shoot 15 threes a game. I'm like Steph Curry. I'm like Steph Curry right now. It'd be hard to deal with me right now. All the I had, it'd be hard to deal with me right now. Every 40, easy.
And
Easy.
you notice the crazy thing, there's young kids, and I say this respectfully, that's watching saying, oh, that's just an old dude talking trash. No, this is Tim Hardaway Sr., Hall of Famer, had all the tricks on the offensive end. He would get numbers in today's, where you can't put hands on him, and he has all space in front of him. He put on a clinic nightly.
Nightly. Nightly.
And speaking of, I don't know if you know what Anthony Edwards said, who's a great, great basketball player who has an incredible future in front of him and is going to be the face of the league at some point, if not, real soon. But
Love watching him play. Love watching
the 90s players and how they couldn't play today. I totally disagree with the guys that we faced and played against.
Totally disagree. Totally disagree with him. Love how he plays. Love watching him play. He is going to be the face of the league. I think playing with those guys in the Olympics helped him out tremendously. But man, when he said that, we was watered down. I got your mind. We was watered down. You wasn't even born then. How you know what it was? You know what I'm saying? He wasn't even born. When was he born? 2001? 2002? You wasn't even born. How you know what was watered down and what wasn't watered down? And then JJ Redick. What did he say? He said that we was mediocre or something. What did he say? I don't even know what he said. But
janitors.
Huh?
He said something about janitors and custodians. So.
Yeah. Man, please, man. He couldn't even play back then. We wouldn't, in the Park District, we wouldn't even have him playing back then. We wouldn't even have him on the court. He could only dribble. That's all he could do was dribble. He couldn't even, the only thing he could do was shoot. He couldn't even dribble the basketball, man. Come on, man. I just tell you this, man. They irked me when nobody never played in that era. How you gonna talk about that era? You never played in that era. So you can't talk about that era. You never been in the physicality that we've been in. You never grew up how we grew up. You didn't go through the things that we grew up doing, what we had to endure when we was growing up. You don't know what made us. A lot of guys are athletic. You telling me Dominique wasn't athletic? You telling me that, of course, Michael Jordan or it's a lot Junior Bridgman or them other guys wasn't athletic? Man, there was a bunch of guys that was athletic and could play.
Can you imagine having to be defended by Alvin Robinson?
Oh, man, please. Alvin Robinson being defended by him? Man, one time he picked me up. He said, oh, yeah, the dog. You got the dog on you now. You know how he be like, I'm the dog. I said, okay, I'm going to tell you this, what I'm going to do to the dog. I'm not going to even say nothing. After the game, he's like, Yeah, I see it. He said, yeah, that's real, huh? It's like, yeah. He said, okay. he wasn't talking about the dog no more. But yeah, man, them guys that don't play, never played in our era, and they talk about our era. I'm like, you know what? Y'all need to stop that. Y'all need to really seriously stop that because it was a lot of bad in the 80s and the 90s that could really, really, really play. Yep.
Last question for me. Who is the GOAT?
Oh, Michael Jordan, no question. Michael Jordan's the GOAT, no question. I mean, he's been there 6 times and he refused to lose 6 times. When he put his mind to playing defense, he went out there and played defense. He don't take no days off. He didn't lack a day's go stuff each and every day. He went out there and he played for the fans, and he gave a damn about playing 82 games too. He didn't take off. Load management. Michael said, "I'm gonna bust your in practice, and then I'm gonna go out here and bust your in the game." Yeah. But that's the way we was, man. So no disrespect to LeBron, no disrespect, and out of sight, out of mind, Kobe Bryant. If I, to me, 1 and 1A. 1 is Michael Jordan, 1A is Kobe. Point blank. That's the way I see it.
Last question for me, for real this time.
For real?
Line up Chicago's greatest. Line up Chicago's greatest. Line up New York's greatest. Who wins?
See that hat right there?
Move it over.
You see that hat right there? Do you see that hat right there?
We see it.
Chi-Town. No question.
No question.
No question. And you know what? And I'm going to tell you this. I don't even know why people think Michael Jordan is from Chicago. He ain't even from Chicago. He's from North Carolina. But a lot of people think that Michael Jordan is from Chicago. Yeah.
You know where he was born?
In Brooklyn, in New York.
So he's on the New York team.
Right. We would have still gave him some.
Oh, man. Bruh, can't thank you enough. The elite trash talker, all-time great Hall of Famer, the legendary UTEP two-step man, Tim Hardaway Sr. Thank you so much for joining us, man. Love and appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you all. Hey, man, y'all keep up the good work. And everybody watching y'all doing a great job. I hear nothing but positive and great things about you all. Keep up the good work. And thank you for having me on.
Thanks, bro. Stay healthy.
Appreciate you, Tim.
You too. That health is wealth.
Thanks, man. That was awesome, man.
Yes, sir.
Man, awesome episode. Shouts out to our sponsors, Underdog. Don't forget, click the link in the description and use the promo code MARK to match in the first time deposit over to $1,000, and you can get a specialty pick. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate y'all.
Remember, talk to yourself. Encourage yourself. I don't care what you're going through. Don't get down. Don't get depressed. I don't care if nobody wants to help you. Help yourself. The Bible says David encouraged himself. Talk to yourself. The legend, Muhammad Ali, once said, "I am the greatest." But what he said after that was even more profound to me. He said, "I am the greatest." I said it to myself even before I knew it. Encourage yourself. Blessings.